This video is actually kind of special to me in some ways. If you guys didn't know or you're just new here, I actually used to be a Triple Crowned Eula main. I know it's kind of crazy to think that the guy who Triple Crowned Xiao and soon to Triple Crown Alhaitham used to be a Eula main. She was my first limited 5-star main DPS that I've ever gotten, but ever since I've gotten more and more characters, I haven't really been using her that much, but she still holds a really special place to my account. Since Mika is supposedly going to be a dedicated physical support, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about both Eula and Mika's own potential. Remember to sub and like if you enjoyed. It would really mean a lot if we could reach 2k subs soon. Thanks, I really appreciate it, guys. I won't be going over any leaks about Mika or anything related to that, because I haven't seen them yet, and I don't plan on doing anytime soon. I also ask that you don't talk about them in the comments out of respect for everyone else, but I can talk about any potential things that he could do to help Eula. But first, we can briefly go over her general playstyle. As we all know, Eula is a physical main DPS that relies on her normal attacks and her burst for damage. Her normal attacks are standard physical damage which can hit decently hard. Her skill is mainly used to shred physical resist when holding the skill to consume her Grimheart stacks. These stacks are gained by either pressing her skill or casting her burst. A big portion of Eula's damage comes from her burst. When it's cast, you have to build as many stacks as you possibly can before it explodes, after 7 seconds. Basically, if you have Eula's burst, just try to get as many stacks as you possibly can. When she doesn't have her burst, you either spam normal attacks or funnel energy into her to get it back. Pretty simple, right? The thing that turns away people from using Eula is that she has quite a few problems in her kit. First, her main source of damage is physical, obviously, which kind of goes against the whole reaction-based combat system that Genshin offers. The only kind of reaction that can be used to help physical damage is Superconduct. There aren't really many other things that you can do to make it better. Elemental quick swap teams are the best teams in the game. Eula teams can't do that because if you swap off of her too early, your DPS will decline. Quick swap teams take advantage of how fast we can apply elements, and you can't exactly apply a physical element to enemies, right? So when you don't have Eula's burst, is a lot of downtime between rotations because of how burst reliant she can be. This makes her quite energy hungry, which isn't really a good thing because you either sacrifice some offensive stats for energy recharge, or force yourself to use a cryo battery instead of a more offensive unit. Now this next reason is kind of petty on a personal level, but if you ever mess up a rotation, or if her burst just decides not to crit, have fun adding the retry button into your combo. In my opinion, Eula's gameplay is literally putting all of your eggs into one basket. There are way too many things that you need to do in order to make Eula work, which is the only character that will benefit from all those buffs that you're making for her. Eula's damage was never the problem. She's the main reason I was able to hit 1,000,000 damage, guys. It's just that she's not very flexible, and yet she's very selfish, and that doesn't really help anyone in the team but herself. All Eula teams are built around her instead of the other way around. She's not going to be helping her teammates, it's only for herself. If you don't have enough energy recharge or you don't have Raiden, there aren't really many options out there for teams, because you either need a cryo battery or any defensive unit to help her. And it doesn't help how every abyss has enemies that resist physical damage. And this brings me to talk about Mika. To be honest, I don't think he'll be that great, especially after the Farozon incident. I'm just very tired of niche supports, guys. I'm so sorry if there's still a bitter taste in my mouth after that. I honestly don't know what Mika can possibly do to make Eula any better. I'm not saying she's bad, but she clearly has issues. I highly doubt that Mika will be able to fundamentally change Eula in a positive manner. It's not like he can change how physical damage works, or entirely do anything different. The only thing I can imagine him doing is increasing physical damage, physical shred resistance, and maybe attack speed increase. The reason why I propose attack speed is because Eula loves attack speed more than anyone else in the game because of her burst mechanic. If all of these buffs are combined into a really expensive burst cost like how Farozon is, I don't think he'll be much of an upgrade because it'll only cause more energy problems and downtime for both Mika and Eula. I know it sounds pessimistic to say this, but it sounds like exactly what Mika would do because almost every other niche support character has very similar issues. It sounds too good to be true if a lot of his buffs didn't come from his burst. Even if this does happen, the problem that Eula has will still remain, unless they can be fixed by a single constellation that Mika has. Maybe at C6, who knows? Again, Eula's problem isn't her damage output, it's more than that. The very common thing to happen with niche supports is being very constellation dependent, and as we all know, pulling for 4-star characters sucks sometimes because of RNG. I don't want to be the one talking negative about a character that I don't even have info on, but it's not looking good for Mika or Eula because of physical as a whole. Surely, he will likely be an upgrade for Eula teams, but is he a massive help? That really depends on what he can do, and if you just care about damage, and only damage, go for it. Eula is definitely a good character, and I do have fun using her every now and then. It's just that I don't think Mika will be enough to bring her into the spotlight. But that's totally okay though, and not every character has to be game-breaking. It's just frustrating to get disappointed about how a potential dedicated support won't even be enough to directly help out certain characters without ton of investment. It's just tiring to see that they won't be able to directly fix the issues at hand. Thanks for watching, everyone. I don't intend for this video to sound negative about Eula or Mika. I'm just trying to spread caution about niche support characters because of how many times they've been underwhelming. Anyways, sub and like if you enjoyed, it would really mean a lot if you could reach 2k subs soon. Have a good night and day wherever you're at, and I'll see you all next time. Peace, and take care, guys.